Alright, well, hello everyone. Thank you again so very much for sitting down and joining me today. It's so very nice to meet you if I have not already met you in some way, shape, or form. My name is Ryan, and today that came off a little aggressive. I'm sorry. This is not an aggressive video. This is a very calming video. This is me and you going through the final leg of the Criterion Sale Pickups video trilogy spectacular. The first set came from Barnes and Noble's in-store. The second set was from Amazon's price matching, and this final set of 5 comes from in-store as well. These are the things that I was able to find in-store, and all of them are ones that I have not seen before. The very first one, one that I want to rectify immediately. So that's a great time to get into the very first one, and that is going to be 1971's Straw Dogs. Sam Peckinpah's Straw Dogs. I have never, ever seen this one before. It is Dustin Hoffman and Susan George. I believe, yes, Susan George, this hyper-violent display of masculinity. And this film has such a legacy behind it. There was a remake, wasn't it? I believe that there was a remake, but I can't remember who played the lead role, who played Dustin Hoffman's role. So this is one I'm definitely very excited for. On this one, we have a 4K digital transfer, a 2003 audio commentary by Stephen Prince, who authored a book all about Sam Peckinpah and ultraviolet movies, a 2003 documentary about the making of the film, a 1993 documentary all about Peckinpah himself, conversations, new interviews, archival interviews, and the lot. On here, as always, we do have a great booklet, so let's kind of go look at that booklet together right over here. And this is actually, let's see, I believe there's a couple different ones. We've got a cast and credits, 2 different essays, one by Joshua Clover titled Home Like No Place, and Andre LaRue, The Cinema of Sam Peckinpah, and then a little bit about the transfer itself. Excuse me. And a lot of fantastic stills that are going to be found in here. Look at Dustin Hoffman right there. Very young, slice of man cake Dustin Hoffman. So very, very excited for Straw Dogs. The very next one that we have here is a little bit of another reason with Straw Dogs, because I'm trying to get more versed in Peckinpah, because it's very interesting. There are so many filmmakers who I know more about them and the legacy that their films have created than the actual films themselves. And so Straw Dogs was a way to rectify that with Peckinpah, and this one is a way to rectify that with De Palma, because it's going to be 1973's Sisters, starring Margot Kidder. When it comes to De Palma, it's very much like Peckinpah. I'm very ignorant to his films, but more so aware of the legacy of his films. So this is one that sounded super interesting. Margot Kidder is Danielle, a beautiful model separated from her Siamese twin, Dominique. When a hotshot reporter suspects Dominique of a brutal murder, she becomes dangerously ensnared in the sisters' insidious sibling bond. Now, to my knowledge, this is going to be De Palma's first foray into horror. So this is going to be a real treat on here as well. We got a new 4K digital restoration approved by Brian De Palma himself. Maybe it was on the shrink wrap. I know that sometimes they'll always have like a director approve or filmmaker approve. That might have been on the shrink wrap itself. New interviews with Jennifer Salt, interviews from 2004, audio from a 1973 discussion with De Palma, a appearance from 1970 by Margot Kidder on TV, and then we do have, of course, our booklet. Nothing really sensational about the booklet and the way that it's presented, though it's really, they're definitely using this red and black typeface and an appearance. So on here we've got three actual segments. We have a essay by Carrie Rickey called Psycho Thriller Qu'est-ce que c'est? An interview with Brian De Palma by Richard Rubenstein, and a Murder by Moog, Scoring the Chill, which is written by Brian De Palma, which that's really cool, because the score is done by Bernard Herrmann, who was a frequent collaborator with Hitchcock. So this is one I'm very, very excited for as well. And this last one, I got this one from one wanting to be more educated, and this was, I cannot remember who the guest was, but it was from Just the Discs, of where the Just the Discs podcast, which everybody should definitely be listening to, Brian Sauer's hit show. And I don't remember if it was Stephanie Crawford or not, but somebody had talked about the cameraman. And this is going to be spy number 1033. I did not say the spy numbers on the other ones. I apologize. Sisters is spy number 89, and Straw Dogs is spy number 182. And so this is going to be 1928's The Cameraman with Buster Keaton. Now, Buster Keaton, honestly, I mean, like, because you think Keaton and Chaplin, and I am definitely more versed in Chaplin. I really, apart from maybe a couple of segments or brief bits that I've seen from possibly compilations or maybe documentaries or things like that about Keaton, not really familiar with Keaton himself. I'm actually more familiar with Keaton in terms of, remember Benny and June? Johnny Depp's character was basically Buster Keaton, and very influenced and inspired by Buster Keaton. So that style, I know it from that movie more than anything. And so on here we have a new 4K restoration, audio commentaries. I mean, you know the works. You know what you're going to be getting in a Criterion. Release. There's going to be, it's loaded down with tons of special features. There are some really great documentaries about Buster Keaton and his time at MGM. So very, very excited for that. On here, in the booklet itself, we have, let's see here, is it going to tell me every single one? We do. We have the cast and credits, of course. There is a essay by Imogen Sarah Smith called Man with a Movie Camera. A little essay from Buster Keaton and Charles Samuels called The Worst Mistake of My Life. Okay. And then a little bit about the restoration itself. So definitely excited to check out The Cameraman. Buster Keaton fans, what do you think? Is this a good place to start with Buster Keaton for somebody that is, with the silent film era, is more into Chaplin? Is this a good place to start? Hopefully it is. This one is one that I've heard a lot about this film before. I'm familiar with some of this filmmaker's works. I'm not familiar with this one, and the release of this is just so gorgeous that I could not pass it up. And that is going to be 1989's Do the Right Thing, a Spike Lee joint. And I do enjoy Spike Lee's movies. I am not really familiar with this one. I have heard, everybody that I've heard talk about this film in any way, if they're talking to it, if they're mentioning it to somebody, it's always so much like, you're going to really enjoy this film. And with Spike Lee's, the themes and the topics that he employs into his films, I mean, they're never dated, unfortunately. And this is something, the themes and motifs that are in here are still relevant to this day, again, unfortunately. But I'm really, really excited for this one. The release on here is really gorgeous. I mean, so we've got this 2-disc set and this great mural. I really, really like that. And then there is this huge booklet. I mean, this is a book all about the film. And let's kind of go into, because I haven't really gone so much into there. We've got a lot of different stuff on here. There seem to be excerpts from the screenplay itself. You got the cast and crew notes. What all do we have here? So what I'm seeing over there, because you do have a essay by Vincent Cunningham called Walking in Stereo. And there is the Spike Lee's Director's Journal, which is what you're going to be seeing in here. So that's going to be super interesting. Really, really excited to have this one, because the release itself, guys, I mean, this is just phenomenally gorgeous. This is a very sexy release. This is going to be spy number 97, a 4K restoration approved by not Spike Lee, but the cinematographer Ernest Dickerson. And obviously, you've got a whole slew of other features on here, including documentaries, commentary tracks, all the great stuff to really dive deep into this film. And the last one, everybody, the last one is going to be 19 55's Diabolique, Clouseau's Diabolique. And this is one that, and so there's a really, really great podcast that I enjoy that I've listened to on and off for a few years. That is going to be the Nightmare on Film Street podcast. And there was one episode where they discussed Diabolique. And so this is one that unfortunately I know the plot. I know the ending of the film. So that's why I really, really enjoy what John and Kim do on Nightmare on Film Street, but if I have not seen the movie, I do not listen to the episodes anymore because they do go into spoiler territory, and a lot of times they will preface that, but then sometimes it just kind of slips. I mean, that their job is not to not spoil a movie. They're there to discuss the movie, and when we can see the title of the episode, so if we have not seen the film, then, we know what we're getting into if we will listen to the episode, and I do know now after this one. But still, even knowing that, knowing the twist and everything like that with the film, it just seems that doesn't always really matter, because if the film is good and the story is still told elegantly and beautifully, then that always, I guess a little bit is taken away, sure, but ultimately, though, it doesn't fully matter. That does not deter or take away my appreciation or enjoyment of the movie because of so many movies that, let's take a look. We're looking at Straw Dogs right there. Now, Straw Dogs, I don't have any spoiler territory that's been thrown on me. I'm going in very blind, but when it comes to these movies that you have, that you feel you should have seen because of the types of films that you enjoy, a lot of times you end up, spoilers are hard to avoid. It's sort of when Game of Thrones was huge, and it was hard to avoid spoilers in Game of Thrones. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to take away from your enjoyment of it, and I expect that to be the same with Diabolique. On here, it's not as loaded down with the features on this particular one. Sorry, spine number 35. I apologize. New digital restoration, select scene commentary by French film scholar Kelly Conway, a video introduction by Serge Bromberg, video interview with novelist and film critic Kim Newman, and a booklet with an essay by Terrence Rafferty. And let's see, here is the booklet in here. So I really, really enjoy the look on here. The basic premise of this film, I'm sorry, because this one I do know the basic premise of, and I don't want to just, whoa, sorry about that. I don't always just want to sit there and read the backs of them because that's kind of boring. The basic premise of this particular film is that you have this gentleman's wife and his mistress who both conspire to murder him. That's the basic premise of the film. And then there's some things happen that lead towards possible supernatural territory, a bit of a mystery going on. It's a really good story, and I'm really, really excited to be able to explore it in depth for the very first time. So guys, that is everything that I have now gotten on this leg of the Barnes and Noble's Criterion sale. That's going to be a total of, I believe, 14 titles, maybe? Because I think I did 5 in store, 4 Amazon, and then 5 again. Yeah, Narwhal Band-Aid, look at that. I think that's everything, guys. So, do you guys have any opinions on Diabolique, Do the Right Thing, The Cameraman, Sisters, or Straw Dogs? Do you guys have any opinions on those? Let me know down in the comments below. I would love to be able to hear it. If you have any comments whatsoever, please drop a line. If you just want to say hi, I'll definitely say hi back. All of my contact and social media information can be found in the description box down below. But other than that, that is all that I've got for you on this video, the final leg in the trilogy of the Barnes and Noble's Pickups video series. So, again, that's all I've got for you today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, more additional content, hauls, reviews, Al Adamson adventures, and much, much more coming on down the way. So I do hope that you enjoyed this video, everyone, and I also hope that you enjoy the rest of your day.